Hey everyone, with this video I'm gonna give away my thoughts for Spider-Man 4. If you're wondering how I like the other three movies, I'll do reviews on them eventually. And this will probably be in multiple parts. I'm not sure. Probably. Anyways, here's the rant. So yeah. First off, I just like to say that Tobey Maguire is gonna be in it. Alright, forget what he said about not gonna be in it because he feels like it's completed or he's not sure or whatever. He's gonna be in it, alright. And so is Kirsten Dunst as Mary Jane Watson, and Sam Raimi's gonna return as the director again, and also as a producer too. Alright. So yeah, Spider-Man 4 is not going to begin with Peter Parker narrating, alright? Because they realize that there's no reason for it. And it's really getting old and silly, alright? You understand? There is no reason for him to narrate. Why did they need to narrate, and for him to say this and that? It doesn't. There's no need for it, right? So there will be no narration. I'm sorry if you liked it, but it was alright for the first three movies, but no need for it anymore. Alright, now, just want to let you know that this will not be in order. I'm just going to skip around to important parts of the movie. Different important parts of the movie I'm just going to skip around to, alright? And I want to tell you right now that if you need to get something to eat or drink, like some popcorn or whatever, then you better do it right now, because I'll tell you right now, this is going to be a long discussion, alright? Because if you thought Spider-Man 3 had so many things crammed into the story, Spider-Man 4 is filled. Action-packed. I don't know how they're going to have the budget to pay for all this shit, man. But it's still going to be awesome, alright? Anyway, Spider-Man 4 instead is going to start with more dark scene, alright? And it's going to start in the lab of Dr. Connors. Now, I want to ask you something, right? What did Dr. Connors have? He has one arm, right? That's what he has in the comics, alright? Who does he become? He starts these experiments in his laboratory. That's how Spider-Man 4 begins. It does not start with Peter Parker. It starts in a more dark scene. It starts in the lab of Dr. Connors, where he's experimenting on Lizard so he can regrow his arm back, so he can have two arms again, alright? Because as you know, in the comics he lost one of his arms, so he has to regrow it back, or he doesn't have to, but he wants to, by studying the DNA of a lizard. So he puts the DNA into like this shot, much like if you play this game Spider-Man 3, the lizard's in that game, yeah, like that. And he injects a shot into him, and he grows his arm back, but lo and behold, a problem happens. Of course, it could never not have. Something like this could never happen without a problem, huh? And then he begins to rapidly transform into a beast creature known as the Lizard. Yeah. And he has a long tongue, longer than Venom's, and he can breathe fire now. And now this next part here, now, I want to let you know that I like part 1, 2, and 3, and I do love part 4, alright? But there's going to be a few things changed this time around that aren't going to be true to the comics. Alright? So here you have Venom. He's one character, he's one villain. And you have Lizard. Another character, another villain. Well, Stanley's going to shock the world now, right? I guess Stanley. He's going to take Venom, he's gonna take Lizard and he's gonna combine the two into one villain, one super badass villain that's bigger than, well, obviously bigger than Venom, but seriously, he's so big. And he's gonna do this by, if you remember in Spider-Man 3, Peter Parker left a sample of the symbiote on Dr. Connors' desk, and when he went in there to be tested, and it never left. No. So the symbiote suit is not destroyed. All right, it's still around. All right. So well, yeah, the symbiote's still around because that sample's there. So when the lizard's trying to break out of there, his tail accidentally knocks it over and falls on the ground and breaks, and so the symbiote's loose again. So then it immediately senses his aggression, you know, because that's what it does. It senses aggression. All right. He then it immediately attaches onto him, goes over him, and starts controlling him. Although it can control of the suit really quickly. So now it's just a black lizard, and now he's just a great big beast. All right, and now the lizard can shoot webs. All right, yeah, the lizard can shoot webs now. So then he breaks out and goes rampaging to kill Peter Parker, of course. All right, because even though Dr. Connors can control the symbiote now, and the lizard powers now too, though. The symbiote's now told him that Peter Parker didn't listen to his advice in Spider-Man 3 and still used the symbiote, even though, Dr. Connors said, "You didn't put any of that on you, did you, over the phone?" And Peter Parker lied on the phone. Peter lied on the phone. So now he's going to kill Peter Parker to take his revenge out on Peter Parker, alright? Alright, so that's that part of the movie, and that's actually the beginning of the movie. Now for a small thing way later into the movie. It has to do with Gwen Stacy's father, Captain Stacy, and Bruce Campbell. This has to do with Bruce Campbell's cameo in this movie. Alright, Captain Stacy's gonna get fired, alright, because they finally decided that found out that he's had a streak of stupidity lately, you know. It's like, if you remember in Spider-Man 3, when Gwen Stacy was falling, he didn't look like he cared at all. You know, he said, "What's Gwen doing up there?" You know, and it didn't seem like he cared at all. You know, and so yeah, if she would have hit the ground, if she would have hit the ground, he probably wouldn't have cared at all. So well, yeah. So then he gets fired, and Bruce Campbell takes his place. All right. Alright, now another part. J. Jonah Jameson wants Spider-Man dead so bad that he's actually gonna call in the Kingpin to take him out. The Kingpin, he somehow gets a hold, it doesn't explain this in the movie, but he somehow gets a hold of $1 million and pays it to the Kingpin. So the Kingpin then calls in one of his creations, the Scorpion, to go out to kill Spider-Man. Alright? But of course the Scorpion loses. In the final, here's another part. Back at Oscorp Industries, since both Norman and Harry's dead, then one of Harry's best friends, who has admired Harry for years, buys out the company. All right. Of course, his father has to work with it, though. We're almost out of time for this part here, so yeah, I guess it's gonna be multiple parts. But, anyways, though, so his father's doing experiments again to try to finish their work. But of course, it's a fool's errand. But this time he's using orange gas instead of green gas. He thinks that'll help or something, I guess. But anyways, though, next part, everyone.